All right, this is gonna be an art talk. A very good one at that. It's April. It's the Stoner Holiday 2023, and considering the work I've been doing with history of propaganda and you know other elements in my life, as being a contractor, and that which I'm trying to stop doing. I don't like being a contractor anymore. It's not productive for me. Not productive to me having a family, and you know, I just did this earlier today. Actually, within the past couple of hours, and it's this guy here. You're fucking making history one drawing at a time. You can get, if you're actually interested in the history, right? There's a lot of symbolism in there with Sesame Street, brownstones, and homeless people. And also some memes, right? Some meta humor, which is the internet's favorite. And it's not hate speech, to express oneself, especially as I'm not going to say a victim, right? Because a lot of other people have experienced worse things than I have, being touched without consent. Uh, I need not say much more. I'm just trying to not bring it up a lot. It's really stressful, and I got enough to deal with as it is right now with my family. Like, not associated with that current subject, but if we're going to talk about the here and now at this moment, as myself, myself, and I read. As an artist and someone and an engineer, someone who wears a lot of hats and you might say compartmentalized from all of the shits that have been taken on me over the years. But it's not what happens to you; it's what you do after, right? The old Rocky Balboa mentality. It doesn't matter how hard you get hit or how many times you get knocked down. What matters is that you get back up. And the reason why I did the dumpster fire, the gay dumpster fire, is because transgenderism and the propaganda is ruining society, and we have to stop it, because it's basically as I state with the history of propaganda, it's a means by which foreign influence undermines the very structure and institutions of Western civilization, and it's inclined towards hedonism and all the worst behaviors of humanity. And right before all this propaganda started coming through, it was never an issue, right? It was never a problem. And I say this in other videos, and I'll state it for this video too. I shared a house with a gay dude. I knew that, and we all both kept our space. We were friends. It didn't matter. It didn't fucking matter, right? It was never about your orientation or your identity. It was about what you did with your life, and that's what mattered, right? And then all of a sudden, again, my experiences with cadets and my first exposures to transgender people, and I just looked at them and I'm just like, holy shit, like, there's a reason to be afraid of that. Not right now, Zoe. No, Zoe. I gotta let the dog in. She'll just keep doing this. Come on. Now, obviously, I'm doing this as my usual uniform here. my plaid. No, no, you're not getting the dish. Okay. You know, and again, thrusting these minorities into positions of fetishism was never the intention. It was more or less about having, equity or equal treatment, at least in the eyes of the institutions, instead of being killed. Which as a Christian, I'm not interested. It's just as it says in the Bible, "Thou shalt not kill," right? Or "Thou shalt not murder," rather. All right, go on, come on. Let's go. Out you go. I'm recording. Come on. Take your pick. You're so stubborn. Come on. Come on. I love you. Excuse me. Obviously I've been dealing with this bug that came on. And I'm coughing up shit since it's 420, and this deposits of trash, basically, from inhaling all this dumpster fire smoke. In its own way, a bit of hedonism, or just survival for having to deal with a lifetime of social awkwardness and other associated problems. And that's why as a social outcast, or as a guy gen, I don't judge people for their predilections, obviously by my actions and my own patterns, because God doesn't give a shit. He really doesn't. It doesn't say anywhere in the text that that they should be persecuted or stoned. It just says, "Thou shalt not lie with another man." And so then that also, in a sexual manner, same way for a woman and a woman. But we're animals. What can I say? There's obviously some. I don't really want to get into it. Just watch. I've said enough about it already. There's more than enough in the culture and how things are changing. Back to a semblance of reason. The politics is no longer involved. Because the corporatism and the advancement of the propaganda, just basically is harming and has been harming way too many people, and hence why I started doing the video series in the first place, and hence why I don't support contemporary feminism. It's not happening. It's over for me. It has been for a very long time, and I look forward to better relationships and relations. Forgive and forget, but there's just some things that you can't forget. So that's a bit of a dichotomy there. When you go by English idioms, right? I will forgive, but I won't forget. That's the gist of it. Because if you choose to forget, then it's more likely to happen again without your knowledge or behind your back, something along those lines. I don't know. I'm running out of steam on this one because I put a lot of effort, and I waited a long time, as soon as a while straight, to do this idea. With the gay dumpster fire, the gay pride flag, the transgenderism, whatever. Having done other political cartoons, in itself an example of propaganda art, because it gets the message through without having to speak any kind of language, and that's the most effective kind. I don't want my legacy to be permanently associated with this. I want my legacy to be about my art and about my children, if I have them. I don't know right now, which it troubles me sometimes. You know, I'm not sleeping very well a lot recently. I don't have the funds or the resources to even think about it right now. You know, I'm facing my own kind of persecution and again isolation, and I'm currently being starved out of the aviation industry in a lot of respects because of the changing of the guard in the generations between the boomers, their children, the Gen Xers, and myself. You know, me being a late '80s baby, and I'm coming up to just a couple of years away from being 40. And what's the old idiom? It's you can mess up your 20s and be okay, but if you mess up your 30s, you're fucking screwed. So you better make something of them. And I believe I have, and I still got a couple of years going. I still got many years after that that I can see, in my own future. But it's just hard to do it all alone. After being alone for such a long period of time, it's not healthy, right? And a lot of it was not by choice. It was just more or less the nature of the business. In the same way for these communities, right? If they wanted to exist in their own space, right, and not have any conflict, then they had to do things via an underground. You know, they had their own codes, and it's in their own languages and signals and stuff like that. It's not like it got that far for me, but or anyone that's like me. It's just the fact that I don't like the fact that I have to. Nose is running naturally. Whatever. Just wipe it on my pants. Like gross ass beings that we are. If you don't stand up for what you believe in, then who are you? If you don't stand up for who you believe in, who are you? I think that's enough for this one.